work with financial advisors. You might have seen a lot of YouTube videos out there from financial advisors, educating people on financial planning, retirement planning, different ways to save for retirement or withdraw their assets in retirement. Should you record your own videos? Should you use this to grow your business? After talking to some of the biggest financial advisors on YouTube and their consultants, I want to share with you a few facts. The goal of this video is to talk about how YouTube marketing may or may not work for financial advisors, what the data actually shows, and we're looking for the truth, not just hype. So here's what I found. What YouTube success really requires is typically to get one appointment booked or one lead to submit your application form, you need about 2,000 to 3,000 views on your YouTube videos. And the harsh truth of it is a lot of these financial advisors who are very popular on YouTube, they're disqualifying 80% of the appointments that book a meeting with them. So if you have 10 appointments that requires you about 30,000 views, then only 2 of the 10 will actually be qualified, right? And fit your services. And if you close 50% of qualified appointments, which is a really high close rate, then it will require you to get about 30,000 views, to get about 10 appointments, to have 2 qualified to close 1 client. Now, if your numbers are different, if you've been doing YouTube for a while and you're seeing different numbers, please share them in the comments. I want this to be an active conversation, but a lot of people won't even share the numbers because these numbers are a little brutal. Because a lot of financial advisors, what they think is, hey, I'm going to start recording YouTube videos, post them, and they get 10, 12, 100 videos, 100 views per video. And they're like, oh, why am I not getting that many people? And the one person I got was not qualified. The truth is you need a lot more volume of views for you to get any qualified people to actually book a meeting with you. So what that means is most advisors, they can waste time and money on YouTube because they don't realize that the volume of views is really high. It takes years to build up to that volume of views typically. And you have other priorities. You're not just doing this. You have taking care of your clients, recruiting advisors, tax planning, all these different things. You're not just a YouTuber. And typically there's an expectations versus reality gap. After looking at this slide right here, I want you to share this with other colleagues of yours, compare notes. And if you find any conflicting information here, please let me know in the comments. But I've got this from talking to some of the biggest financial advisors on YouTube and their consultants in real life. So this explains why some of these are successful and some aren't. What YouTube success seems to actually require is 5 to 7 years of consistent posting. If you look at the top couple of guys on YouTube right now, you're going to find they've been posting for at least 5 years and some of them for about 7 years. So almost a decade. Currently, they're getting 100,000 views per week and they're publishing multiple videos a week. And from what I can tell from my research, there's only about 10, maybe a dozen advisors nationwide who are actually making YouTube their primary way of getting new clients. And it's actually bringing in the kind of volume they need to not only feed their own book of business, but recruit advisors and grow their business. And there's hundreds, maybe thousands of advisors trying to do YouTube. They record a bunch of videos, publish them, not much happens. And they're like, I don't know why my video didn't get 100,000 views or 10,000. The truth about YouTube also is there's some other considerations. YouTube controls their algorithm, which means your reach can change unexpectedly. For example, if you say the wrong thing or talk about some censored topics, right? You're buying or you're building on rented land. You're not buying your audience. You're building your house, your book of business on rented land. And this is why diversification can really help when it comes to building your business. I'm not saying that YouTube doesn't work. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do YouTube. I actually think that every financial advisor who's going to be in business in the next 10, 20, 30 years should put some sort of effort towards YouTube. And here's why. Here's why I think YouTube can help. Trust and credibility building, pipeline nurturing, closing existing prospects, and brand building over time. So if you have somebody that saw you on an ad on radio, TV, social media ads, on a webinar, on a seminar, and they're going to go and Google you most likely to see if there's any dirt, right? Hopefully there's none. But at the same time, the moment they're going to type in your name or your firm's name, if you're publishing on YouTube, they're going to find your content and they're going to go and be able to spend minutes, maybe hours going through your content to decide, hey, this guy or this gal I align with them. I align with their values. I understand their planning philosophy. This makes so much sense. Yes, I want to move forward with that. So it can be a really useful way for you to nurture your pipeline, help close more of the people that you have in your pipeline, and build your credibility. Now, is it going to change your business overnight? Probably not. But I do think it's helpful to have some videos on YouTube and to be posting consistently over time. So another thing you need to consider is the business model considerations. So you're going to find that the most successful guys on YouTube are fee-only firms. And here's why that can make sense for them. It's because their revenue is sticky. So if my name is John and I'm a financial advisor and I put in 10 years of effort into building a YouTube channel and building a book of business, and now I have whatever, $1 billion of AE, right? And I have 5 advisors under me, on average, 200 million per advisor. We're killing it, right? Like that revenue is not going to disappear overnight. If YouTube stops sending me views and leads and clients and appointments, I'm not going to go out of business because now I have a good amount of revenue, so recurring revenue. And guess what? If YouTube disappears tomorrow, my financial advisors are not going to leave me because their revenue is not dependent on new business coming in. The revenue is not one time. The revenue is recurring, right? They're not going to take away my book of business, right? But if your revenue is commissions or one-time financial plans or insurance comp, then YouTube can be a riskier way to get clients because you don't fully control the algorithm. And if that disappears, if a pipeline dries up for a couple of months, like it's going to be hard to keep advisors on your team because most of the revenue or most of their income comes from commissionable products or one-time financial plans. So if that's not happening and for whatever reason you can't fix that, then it might be a riskier business that you're building, right? So you want to match your strategy to your business model. If you're more one-time commissions and all that, you want to have diversified ways of getting clients, ways that are more controllable, ideally. For example, if you run paid advertising, typically it's more controllable than hoping and relying that an algorithm would bless you that 1 month or 1 day. That's that. If you're more recurring, long-term client stickiness, if you get a client, you know they're going to stay with you for 10, 20 years, then YouTube can be a great way to build a business if you're going to put in the actual effort. So the realistic expectations, if you want to start getting momentum, you have to be patient for at least 3 years. You have to post at least 1 video a week, at least, just to get the wheel rolling, right? You want to keep other marketing channels active. Whatever's working for you right now, don't shut it off, obviously. And this is more of a long-term brand investment than a quick fix to boost your numbers this year, or even the next 2 years. It's likely that it's going to take you at least 3 years of consistent posting starting from today, this week, for you to build any meaningful pipeline from the YouTube algorithm for it to be worth your time. If you're going to be posting less than once a week, unless your videos are extremely high quality and you're like just a YouTube genius, like Mr. Beast of financial advisors on YouTube, then it's probably not going to work. But most people have to post at least once a week. So your realistic timeline is most likely year 1 to 2. You're building your foundation of audience. You're clarifying your message. You're refining what's working in terms of topics. Year 3, you're going to have traction beginning, and year 5 and beyond, you're going to have really potential ROI materializing. So patience is really required. If you have other data that's showing that for the average advisor, it's taking them less than 3 years, less than 2 years for this to build up, please let me know in the comments. Okay, this is just from my research, what I'm seeing on YouTube, but I just want to clearly, realistically give a timeline for most financial advisors. They know where they're getting into, okay? And they don't waste tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of hours on YouTube before they give up because they don't have the right expectations. So go back to the slide. This is what I've seen, what I've heard from other advisors. And when you can back into the math, right? You can look at somebody's total views. You can back into how many clients they have, what's their average AUM per client. And you're going to find that this is pretty dang accurate. So what I would encourage you to do is go to one YouTube channel you can think of that's like super successful on YouTube, right? Look at their total views on their channel, and you can find that on the About section, right? Divide the total views by 30,000. Okay, let's hypothetically say somebody has 30 million views, right? So divided by 30,000, that's about 1,000 clients, right? And multiply that by their average client size. Let's say the average client size is, I don't know, $1.5 million. That's about $1.5 billion in AUM, okay? So try to do that math and see if this tracks, okay? But that's the realistic timeline to get to that with consistency. So my personal take, by the way, my name is Alex Casa. I run Client Stock Box. We don't do YouTube stuff. We help financial advisors get clients without webinars, without YouTube, without seminars, using a 90-1-1 funnel. There's a video on my channel that explains that. I'll leave that in the description. But my personal take is YouTube can work for people who are committed for the long term. It's not a quick fix for client acquisition. It's best to use alongside other strategies. and your experience might be different. So I want this to be open forum for sharing people's experiences. Please post down in the comments. Post it on YouTube. What's been your experience? How many views did you get? Do you find that this math actually works? If you got less than 30,000 views and you didn't get any clients, does this track? If you're seeing that you're getting more clients per view, if you're getting less clients per view, please leave that in the comments, because there's a lot of talk right now about YouTube, and this is the truth that I've seen based on my back of the napkin math. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to grow your business as a financial advisor. Watch my other videos to learn about other strategies to grow your business as a financial advisor, get more clients, get more high net worth retirees and high net worth clients in your practice. And I'll see you in the next video.